Alright, y'all ready? Welcome to Channel 16 News. I'm your news anchor, Shelby Wilder. Tonight we have a pretty hard-hitting story. We'll be talking about my birthday. That's right, folks. Tonight we'll be talking about the biggest and greatest stories that happened on my birthday, October 14th, 1997. For our first story, we're going to check out an article that was written by the LA Times. The headline reads, John Denver dies in plane crash. The report says John was piloting a plane and crashed on Sunday evening. Press was notified on Tuesday, October 14th. The LA Times wrote that the plane he was piloting was experimental. New York Times dubbed it as built from a kit. This crash wasn't John's first, though. Many said that he lived for the thrill of flying, and he was actually a daredevil. Denver's memory lives on even 20 years later. At least he passed away doing something he loved. You know what I love? Baseball. Which brings me to our second story of the night. This one's out of the park. Article reads, Florida Marlins win national championship defeating Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta hosts very first league championship series at the New Turner Field. They hope to get back at a third consecutive World Series win. It was a very hard-fought battle to the very end. Teams alternated wins all the way to Game 5. However, Marlins ended victorious in Game 6 on October 14, 1997 with a 7-4 win against Atlanta. Baseball is a topic that has lasted throughout the ages. Our next story tonight also has lasted throughout the ages, but maybe not in such a great way. A newspaper out of Nebraska's headline, Out of Wedlock Birth Trend Increasing. According to the article, the increase in babies being born to unmarried couples was starting to worry many. The newspaper stated that the rate had been climbing since 1978, predicted that in 1997, 32% of all children were born out of wedlock. Today, the stat is still rising and has not improved. The number rises to about 40%. Out of wedlock births are still a standing constant throughout the ages. Another standing constant throughout the ages, probably the fact that everybody hates Michigan, or at least everyone in Ohio. Our fourth and final story tonight investigates the legal issues that the University of Michigan faced back in 1997. The final article read, University of Michigan gets sued over diversity and admissions policies. The New York Times stated that the university had its minority enrollment almost doubled in the last decade. However, a group was suing the university, saying that their admissions process discriminated against whites. Eventually, there was some evidence dug up that there might be some truth behind this. New York Times writes that it seems as some standardized test scores were applied differently to whites and non-whites in the admissions process. The case took until 2003 to receive a decision from the U.S. Supreme Court. A 6-3 ruling favored against the university admissions process, and it was to be changed. Those darn Wolverines. We may hate them, but at least they did make a good and intriguing addition to the list of events that happened on my birthday. From the tragedy of the plane crash that killed John Denver to the winning of the National League Championship. From an increasing trend that is still increasing today to legal debate against the team up north. It seems my birthday was filled with more exciting events than just me being born. Thank you for tuning in to Channel 16 News. I'm your news anchor, Shelby Wilder. Good night and God bless.
Good job.
Thank you. Sorry. No.